Hey, are you trying to get into concealed carry but a little overwhelmed about what to budget and what the true costs are? Then let me help you. I've got a way to solve that problem. I'm Donovan Brooks, co-founder and lead instructor at Dojo Armed Defense. Today, we're going to talk about budgeting for concealed carry. Whether it's your handgun, quality holsters, first aid kits, ammunition, there's a lot of stuff that goes into buying your first concealed carry firearm. And we want to categorize these things and have it to where it makes it a lot easier for you to understand your budget and be able to spend your money wisely. They say buy once and cry once. And you know, after 20 years of carrying concealed, I have bought a lot and cried more than once. And I would love to be able to save you that hassle. We've got this broken down into 3 categories: the essentials, the things you're going to need soon, and things that are going to be nice to have down the road. We're going to look at each category and help you figure out the best way to make your budget. If you're in a condition where you can get all of it at once, awesome. But if you're working with more restricted means, then we can help you set up a plan in order for you to be able to get the most out of your money. First up as we budget is our essentials. Number 1 on the list is a handgun. We recommend for concealed carry a modern striker fire pistol chambered in 9mm, more than likely of the compact size. There's going to be another video detailing exactly what we look for in these pistols, so be sure to like, subscribe, and click the notification bell so you know when that video is posted. Outside of the pistol, you're going to need a holster, something to hold that pistol in. Kydex holsters are the way to go here. You can get them for appendix inside the waistband, which is carrying in the front, or you can get them for on your hip. Eye and ear protection are also going to be absolutely necessary, and you'll need these when you practice. Defensive ammo is going to be up next. This is the ammo that you will use when you are carrying your pistol on a day-to-day basis. It's designed to expand and increase terminal damage, as well as decrease its ability to over-penetrate. This ammo is going to run you $1.50 to $2 per round, more than likely. So we're looking at about 50 rounds. I like to be able to get enough that I have one magazine I can shoot on the range to make sure that the ammunition functions and cycles the firearm, and then another magazine that I will then load and be able to carry defensively. You're also going to need some practice ammunition, a minimum of 200 rounds. I like to see 500, and this will give you the rounds to practice with your firearm to continue to make sure that it functions reliably and that you know how to use it. If you are considering a firearm as a life-saving tool, you really need to also consider a first aid kit. This might be an individual first aid kit, or if you have a larger group of people you're taking care of. You know, over here we've got 5, myself, my wife, and our 3 children, then you might want to consider it more like a family first aid kit. The individual first aid kit for sure would go with you to the range every time you go, and consider having these things with you on a regular basis. We're going to dive further into these items later as well. And you're going to want a cleaning kit. In the get soon category, first thing up is we've got a shot timer. This is an absolutely phenomenal tool for knowing how you're developing as a shooter. On the inexpensive end, you can get these for free out of tons of great apps, and they can go up to a couple $100s in price. They can meet your budget in all sorts of places, but there's not a better way to measure your progress as a shooter and to make sure that you're growing as a shooter and you're keeping the proficiency necessary to be able to use your firearm defensively. The Get Soon category for me will also include training. If you've never taken a formal firearms training class, even if you've been shooting for a while, there's a lot to be gained from going and having somebody coach you. Even major league athletes have coaches that work with them and help them to develop. Highly recommend this if you're considering concealed carrying. The other thing on our Get Soon list will be extra magazines. This will make your range time more efficient, and you might consider having one magazine dedicated for concealed carry that stays in great condition and your other magazines for practice. I recommend an additional 2 magazines. I like to have a minimum of 5 magazines for all of my pistols. For my concealed carry pistol, I have about 8 or 9, 2 dedicated for concealed carrying and the other one's there for training. The last thing you really want to consider, and this could also be in the free category and thus bumped up to the essentials, is a training log. Somewhere where you write down what you do, what you learn, and different issues you might be looking to solutions for. So here I like to be able to track my progress, and that's really what's going on in the Get Soon category, is what are the things that I need to develop as a shooter, because if I plan on using this tool defensively, I want to make sure I am as absolutely capable as possible. In the will need category, these are things we highly recommend, but might not fit into your budget initially, so you could push them down the road. If you have room in your budget, they're great to get early on. Is a sturdy gun belt, number one, some sort of chassis for carrying it. If you're going to be carrying off body, then you might want to consider some specific bags meant for concealed carry. But whatever it is, however it is that you're carrying your firearm, you want to make sure that it is stable, it keeps the firearm secure, and easy and quickly accessed for you. You might also want to consider magazine pouches. These are ways to retain extra magazines. There are some really cool options out there to keep them in your pocket with magnets. There are also ones for your belt. I really like the ones on the belt for practice sessions at the range, just easy to access my reloads and to continue my training, getting the most out of my time. And then for concealed carry, I like something in the pocket. You can go back and forth with both, but magazine pouches to carry those extra magazines are certainly going to be handy. Your pockets work, but you'll probably want something more convenient down the road. You might also want to eventually consider a range bag. Backpacks and other things work great, but keeping a lot of your stuff organized and easily accessible so that when you're ready to go and practice, you can grab your range bag, go to the range, and know that all of your stuff is there, makes it more likely that you will get to the range and practice. Depending on your state, here in South Carolina, we are a constitutional carry state. But if you aren't in a constitutional carry state, or you want to seek a higher level of certification or licensing, you might want to put in your budget the license fees for your state, whether this is a concealed weapons permit or other things necessary in order to be able to carry your firearm with you on a regular basis. You might also want to consider a small safe or a lockbox. Even though we're constitutional carry here, there are certainly places I cannot carry my firearm, and there's small children in my house. So I need some way to keep that firearm from being accessed by unauthorized people, whether those hands belong to a 4-year-old or a rather deviant 40-year-old. I want to make sure that mine are the only ones able to access my firearm. Dry fire tools are a great thing to look at. Now, you can dry fire with nothing at all. My daily dry fire really doesn't incorporate any tools, though there are some amazing ones out there. And like I said, be sure to like and subscribe, because we'll be diving into these dry fire tools and a lot of other things on this list very soon in their own individual videos. A weapon-mounted or a handheld light are also great for your defensive firearm. I prefer a handheld, though there is certainly a place for weapon-mounted lights, but you might want to consider that in your budget as well. And then any clothing adjustments that you might have. If you find that your shirts don't work well with your carrying concealed, or perhaps your pants don't, I know we mentioned the belt earlier, but there might also be some other clothing adjustments, and that's something to consider as you budget down the road. What's comfortable? Because if you are uncomfortable when you're carrying, if you're self-conscious, then you're less likely to carry, and that would defeat the purpose of this purchase in the first place. And last, I really love red dot pistol optics. They are not necessary to make your firearm function. You can shoot at a high degree of ability without them, but it is something to keep in mind, putting a red dot optic on there. So it is in the will need, but if it's in your budget, I would bump that up to the essential. For me, every time I purchase a firearm, I am looking for a red dot optic to put on that slide. So there's our list: the essentials, the get soons, the will needs, things to consider as you budget. All right, what we do have, if you click the link down below, is access to a PDF with notes and a worksheet that you can fill out yourself as you look at these various options. So keep an eye out on this YouTube channel. We'll be diving more into each one of these items on the list to keep you informed and help you make the best decisions you can. Remember, follow Christ, love each other, stay safe. We'll see you on the range. Thanks. This the Dojo CCW budget worksheet. Yeah. I'm Donovan Brooks with Dojo Armed Defense, and today we're going to be looking at a powerful tool to help you consider the financial costs of concealed carry. The Dojo CCW budget worksheet. That sounds boring as hell.